strap yourselves in. I'm going to make the jump to light speed.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Hyperdrive Cantina Chat, the end of the week Star Wars chat show where we talk about all things Star Wars. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can jump to Lightspeed every week with us right here on the channel. With me breaking this down, as always, is my fellow clan member, the Raging Mando himself. What is going on, Frankie? How you doing, man?
What's up, buddy? Glad I'm not the Raging Mango today.
Yeah, well, last week you were Randy. You were Randy of your dandy.
Randy Mango.
Oh my god. Hey, and I'm like half awake right now, so I'm trying to we'll get through the intro and hopefully I don't mess up. We also have with us, first time, we got two brand new guests on the show. First time with us for this particular episode is the man that we affectionately call the Wise Wizard of MCE. We got my man Craig from Half Fast Reviews. What's up, Craig?
I can use hello there again. Back to Star Wars.
Until we do that other skit. When we get that other skit, then we might give you another moniker at that point.
Right.
We'll talk about that other. Also making his first appearance on the show, the guy that spawned the idea for today's main discussion. We got my man from Instagram, No More Mutants. What's going on, Ralph? How you doing, man?
What's up, guys? It's all Obi-Wan's fault. That's all I'm saying.
So, man, it's been a hell of a week, man. We had a lot of good stuff happen. Had Bad Batch.
Yeah.
What else went down this week? Can't remember what else went on. We had a long 4-hour video last night that's kind of left me this way. Oh man, how you guys doing this week, man? All you?
Good. Getting back into comics.
Yeah. Oh, the comics that came out, right?
Yep.
With that War on the Bounty Hunters that came out.
War on the Bounty Hunters. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You saw that black suit?
Yeah.
Yeah. His disguises are as good as Wolverine's, right?
Yeah. Right. It's just spray paint a different
Just
color.
spray paint this thing black.
Nobody will know. Hey, is that Judo Cast over there?
Oh, man. I read the prelude, the Star Wars prelude part, and then I started to read the beginning of the actual War of the Bounty Hunters. It's starting out pretty cool. I like it.
I do like it. Yep.
So
I don't like having 5 different covers to choose from. Well, 3.
Well, that's
But
the
it is
money
what it
grab.
is.
That's the money grab.
They got my money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get them all.
They got my money.
let me do a little bit of roll call here since we got people in the
1, 2, 3.
chat. Thanks to all the 11 people that are in the chat right now. We got Len Hansen, Thor2941, Big D's up in the chat. We got Elijah. Thrawn is in the house. Man, we got Thrawn here, bro.
That's
What is
nice.
up? I
That's
know.
a nice name.
Nice.
Pinche borracho. What are they, homie? We got Primetime Reviews. Raging Mando's in the chat also. Jedi Shizzle is in the house. What's up, bro? Thanks to all of you who have come in. And I want to say big thanks to everybody that's watched my room tour on this thing. 5,000 views. We're almost at 500 subscribers on the channel. That's awesome. We haven't even broke a month on this channel, so that's great.
That's great.
I know, man. I'm loving it. Love Star Wars, and I'm glad that everybody is having a good time with what we're putting out lately.
I'll be doing mine this week. Since I got the other room done, I'll just combine the two.
Nice.
So I'll
Cool.
be dropping that this week.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. And I think we got the building show coming up pretty soon. We're going to be doing some model building. That should be sometime this week.
I'll be doing R2 and BB-8.
I got to go find some new stuff. I feel a little inadequate. I mean, all you guys got really awesome, good-sized ships, and I got my little wee little ship. You know,
You have it is a baby one.
I got the big ones, but I already did the big ones, so it's like now I got to get the little ones left. I'm like,
Hopefully that's not what she said.
Yeah.
You got a wee ship, honey.
It's not the size of the ship, it's how you fly it.
truer words never spoken. That's good, man. All right, so kicking it off, we had the Bad Batch episode this week. How many of you guys are caught up on the Bad Batch? I know me and Frankie at least are caught up to the 3rd episode. Where are you guys at?
Just finished the first.
Yeah, I finished the first last week. I just haven't had a chance to, with work, to jump on the last 2.
Got you. What do you guys think of the show so far?
You want to go first, Craig?
I like it. I'm not a huge animated guy. I guess that's why I never tried Clone Wars or whatever. But I've actually found myself captivated with the story. You know, the The characters seem, a little bit of cliche, if you got the smart guy, you got the mechanical guy or whatever, but they're don't feel stale, So I thought it was an interesting dynamic, and it has me gripped so far.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed that they threw you right at the beginning of, Order 66. And you know where you're at, and you know exactly what's happening in the universe. And then you could go from there and dive into how these characters survived Order 66 or how they deviated from Order 66 and who they had to kill and who they didn't kill or whatever. That was great for me. I really enjoyed that. Especially that we had seen that particular Jedi, without giving anything away, that particular Jedi and a snippet in the comic book of how he survived and his story on another show on Rebels.
Oh yeah. Well, by now the first episode shouldn't be a spoiler for anybody
Right.
who's into Star Wars, so we could say who it is.
Thank you.
But yeah, I really like that he was in the show Kanan. That he was in this episode. I was really impressed with that. Although his voice did sound like an old man trying to be young.
Yeah.
It's like that voice did not fit the body. I was. I think even when we were watching it, Frank, and me and you were like, "Is that really Freddie Prinze Jr. playing the voice?" So I thought that was cool. Like you, Ralph, I love that they're bringing us right at the end of the Clone Wars, right at the beginning of Order 66. I'm really excited to see the transition from the clones to the actual stormtroopers and where that goes. I'm hoping that's something that gets focused on.
And this is not the first time that they do this. I mean, they did it with I think the last season of Clone Wars with Ahsoka. It was Order 66 was given, and you saw what she was going through, how she survived, and so forth. So it was great that they even did that. I was really surprised.
It's really good when they have one director kind of taking over the story and keeping consistency.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something that we talk about.
Sounds like a recipe that actually works.
That's definitely going to be something. True. Very true. I'm still not feeling Omega. Omega is probably the only cog in the whole thing that I feel is just misplaced so far.
A little forced.
Yeah. She has abilities. She's obviously an altered clone, the only female clone, which makes you wonder if it's a strand cast or an actual clone. There, and then it's like I don't know. It runs into the same issues that I had with the beginning of the Clone Wars, and then also the beginning of Rebels, where it felt like that's for the kids, and I'm not vibing with that just yet. You guys getting the same feelings about her?
Yeah, it just doesn't mesh with like this kid's getting dragged into war zones and it's all cool.
Yeah,
it just doesn't. It doesn't resonate.
That was why I stepped away from. That's why I stepped away from. What was it? The Rebels, because I saw Ezra as a kid and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. And then when people started telling me like, yo, you got to watch this, and I'm like, oh, now that we passed this kiddie stage, it's getting really good.
And that's what I'm kind of hoping happens here, because it's good. He does a very good job transitioning that way. So
yeah, just like Thrawn said, I think she is force sensitive.
Yeah, there's that
that's going to be
she's
I think
force
that's what's
sensitive.
been happening. Yeah.
Some people think that she could be a mimic, that she mimics the abilities of the other clones. That
that'd be interesting. Whoever you're around, vicinity,
right? So like if you saw, did you make it to the end of the last episode, both of you?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The first episode.
The first episode. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
You saw how she was able to pick up the gun at the end, and she can all of a sudden hit the targets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one of the theories is that she mimics some of the abilities of the other clones as she's around them more often.
Yeah.
And that comes into play in some of the next few episodes, so you'll see some of that too. So that's what's kind of driving that theory.
Yeah, because I saw her even giving call signs like Hunter, right at the same exact time, and I'm like, wow, she's got the call signs already.
Right. And Collector saying he loves the channel. Thank you so much, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Love his name.
What I was going to say a minute ago is
me too. Good name.
I was going to say it's Lucasfilm's kind of cookie cutter to always include a kid element or a cutesy element or something within the stories, going back to Ewoks, Grogu,
Yep. Return of the Jedi did it.
Yeah. Once they started that, they always have that slightly doesn't fit kids element in the stories.
Right. Right, and then it transitions later because that's what happened with Ahsoka. You know, at the beginning when she was first introduced in the Clone Wars, I could not stand the first like several episodes of the Clone Wars. You know,
Yeah, like if you watch the movie, it was kind of weird that they were going to pick her to start to start doing the animated series.
Yeah.
You're like, what, really?
When I first went into that, I was at the world premiere of the Clone Wars in California. Right, this was at SIGGRAPH convention. I can't remember what year it was, but they did it at one of the theaters there. So Dave Filoni was there. First time I met Dave Filoni, cool dude, and he was flanked by stormtroopers. So I was like, this is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to watch Star Wars. Then I sit through that first movie, and I walked out and I'm like, this guy's gonna mess this shit up. It's like, what the, you know? I was like, how did he have this Snips character in this? This is horrible, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, but now she's one of my favorite characters in the series. So I like that the transition they did with her characters. I'm hoping the same thing for Omega.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
I do hope my boy comes back though.
Ooh,
Crosshair.
Oh, back to the other side.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do like him.
I love the story, the division between them. Right at this point, right?
Yeah.
That's
it
cool.
Fits. I mean, it fits. It all flows.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I want to see how it all plays out because he's actually, I mean, from what we saw last, he's following orders, and does he still have the inhibitor chip? Well, obviously he does because at the end of the episode they kind of bumped that up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, dude, how is it that they have the same chip but they're not taking orders? So I want to see that play out.
True. Thrawn says he can't wait to see Rex. Me too. Hoping to see Cody show up on the show too.
Oh yeah,
that would be interesting.
So Omega was like reading his mind right there at the end. Whenever I didn't quite get what she was saying. She said, "It's not your fault."
Yeah, she was right. That's something that's playing out to the idea that she could be force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
But she's also been she was like the medical assistant, so she's aware of the chip.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could be that too. So
Gotcha.
I'm very interested to see how it's going to play out, and the next two episodes, just to let you guys know, it is a little bit on the slow side. The next two episodes,
they're pretty much filler. The third one has a little more something to it, but the second one's definitely filler.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it ramps up for the next episode, and shows something that's pushing us more into where the story's going. But it kind of feels similar to like some of the episodes of the first Mandalorian series where he goes somewhere, he does something, and then there doesn't seem to be any connection to where the overall story is at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Side quest.
Yeah, side quest.
Side quest.
Exactly. Side questing. That's a good one. So other than that, jumping ahead into the timeline, we got a fan film that came out this week called Bucketheads. I know Ralph just saw most of it, right?
Part of it, yeah. It's all about half.
What did you guys think of that? That was, I mean, I was like amazed by that. Totally caught me by surprise.
People's skills, man, are just amaze me.
Yeah.
Right?
Production mainly was top notch.
The space battle was amazing, and I'm like, dude, these are not Lucas guys. These are not Disney guys.
Right.
And they're doing this at home, I'm like,
right.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, opening sequence, that battle was great.
Yes, it was. And you see it from the perspective of the other guys, and you're like, yes.
Yeah.
Costuming and all that was fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
Even the scene of the TIE pilot inside of the ship. You see all great job.
They had to build all that set. Yep.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Practically.
That doing, the different perspectives. Because imagine all the Star Wars movies again, but from the opposite side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like each scene, do it from the other person's point of vue.
Yes.
It would be another great movie.
That would be. That's why I said it's all Obi-Wan's fault. I mean, it is.
A certain point of view.
From a certain point of view, we can have Star Wars from a certain point of view. Episode 4, episode 5, 6.
Greedo as a single dad, trying to just trying to feed his kids, man.
He's trying to feed his kids.
It's not his fault.
Han Solo, you bastard.
The scene before that shows him like, I'm fixing to go get money for food, kid. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
He never comes back. You got the kid crying.
And we even see his ex-wife, and she's like, you have to pay me, where's my alimony?
Yeah. Kids looking out the window. When's Dad coming home?
Thrawn says Bucketheads was epic. It was amazing effects. Lucasfilm should hire these guys. Totally agree.
Yeah.
The animation was better than the first Justice League.
Oh
That guy
wow!
right there. That
Yo,
guy right
he's
there.
kind of right, man.
He is.
He is
And
kind of
the
right. with
second.
that. And the second. Dude, it totally caught me off guard. I want to say that that's the second Bucketheads that they did, because they did one back in like 2008, right? Or was that just a trailer? I don't know if you guys saw that earlier on.
I didn't get to see it.
So
Yeah, that was a trailer before.
that was the trailer on the fan
Yeah.
film that was coming.
Yeah, they
right?
were talking about it. Yeah.
I think when I saw that, because they showed the scenes mostly from Endor in that one, that I just felt like, okay, this is cool. They're in the forest. It's gonna be another kind of stormtrooper thing. I was interested in it, but I didn't expect this. And like when I first started and I see that space battle, I was like, holy shit.
See, mine kind of go the other way around, because like for me, the fan films, there's three that are my top ones.
Right.
The original Troops,
Okay.
that's number one for me, and
Yep.
the Darth Maul one, that's the second one for me. Have you seen that?
I don't think I've seen the Darth Maul. I
Oh,
haven't
you
seen
need to
the
watch
trailer.
it. You
Yeah?
need to watch
Yeah.
Darth Maul. That one is sick.
Okay.
And then, so I'm expecting that level now. So whenever they come out and they don't reach like that, it kind of disappoints me. But the third one, this one, Bucketheads, it's right up there too. Yeah, you need to watch Darth Maul. If y'all haven't seen that, watch that one.
I really miss when Lucasfilm used to have on their website, they had like a page dedicated to the fan films.
Yeah, they had
it
that
was real
fan film
easy.
awards.
Yeah, yeah, and you could
Yeah.
just sit there and they were there the whole time. You could just sit there and watch every film that you wanted to.
The mouse
It was
wants his
great.
money.
They should still honor that, though. I think
Yeah, that's why you can pay $4 billion for a franchise and expect to make return.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like this guy's not taking and monetizing the video, and it said it was non for profit at the beginning. I want to say Star Wars Theory did the same thing with his Vader film. It was not for profit, and I want to say Disney even profited off of that, because I want to say
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
So-
Anything that we as fans make, Disney's going to be like making cash, because it's going to drive you to buy another statue, drive what's his name to buy another comic, or another kid
Yeah.
to say, "Mom, I want an action figure."
So the least they could do, in my opinion, if they're going to be taking and making money off this stuff, is they should have that on their website, host some of these videos, so that it sends them back to their YouTube channels and gets these guys some following. It's because that is some epic work and a lot of time that they put into that. For the love of Star Wars, and which brings more fans to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I finished watching Bucketheads, and Craig, you said that when we were off the chat. I want to go buy Stormtrooper armor now.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
Right.
I'm definitely gonna get some more Stormtrooper 6 scale figures. So I thought it was really cool.
I put the link to that Darth Maul fan film in the chat.
Nice.
Awesome.
See what we got here.
I think
Corona.
I've seen it, but it's been a little while.
Yeah, it's
came
been
out-
about 5 years.
Yeah. I was gonna say it was a couple years old, but
Really?
really well done.
Corelli Collector says gave you the vibe of Star Wars Squadrons, the video game. I felt the
Yeah.
same way with the way it ended.
No.
The intro has the scenes on Endor, just reminded me of the story. Yeah, I agree with that. Even has the like a female stormtrooper with like a droid, on her.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminds me of that too.
Oh, the fan film, the one that I liked, which was, I don't know if you could call it a fan film, but it's that clip of Obi-Wan versus Vader, how it should have been in
Oh,
episode
yeah.
4.
That was good. I saw that.
Sorry, yep.
That was
you're
pretty
right.
good.
That one's
Yeah.
sick.
I think FX, I'm trying to find it on my thing. I can't remember who made it, but that thing was amazing.
Hardware wars, man. Y'all got.
Yeah, there is Hardware Wars, the original fan film.
Yeah.
That's the original fan film.
78, I think it was.
Yep.
See, Elijah says that Star Wars Theory produced the Stormtrooper hunting Mace Windu. Oh, that's that other trailer. I haven't seen that yet. I've been meaning to. I saw the cover to it. I got to check that out. It's got Mace Windu in it. That's pretty dope.
Sam wants to bring him back. I heard
You got
Sam Jackson wants to bring him back. He wants to bring back Windu.
That would be
Of course he
great.
does.
Yeah.
That would be cool though. The way that the Theory put him there with like the glass eye,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat. In the last Bad Batch episode, one of the recruits looked like Iden from Battlefront 2. Do you guys think it's her? I got to rewatch that. I didn't catch that. Or
Yeah,
maybe
I did think that too.
You thought that was one of the four,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
That could be.
Yep. That they
But
were
she-
standing there. That's what I was thinking, because because I just started playing Battlefront 2 again, and that triggered that scene to me.
Well, here's my only thought behind it that I think it could or couldn't. She was kind of young at the end of or in Battlefront 2 at the beginning. So that was the Battle of Endor, which how many years transpired? Like 20 something years.
Yeah, so it can't be.
Yeah.
Unless she's a clone.
Yeah. Iden's dope. I like the character.
Clone them all.
I couldn't find the name of it, George, but I just sent it to you on IG. It was an animated video that somebody did, but from the perspective of TIE fighter pilots.
Yeah. Oh,
you remember
I've seen
anime one? The anime style?
Anime one.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the anime ones are good too, and I like those little shorts that they have on the Star Wars channel that are animated. Those are great.
Yeah, those are great for kids. It catches you right up. This is Luke, Jabba, done.
Yeah, done.
You know,
and it gives you the little quick story.
Galaxy. And I try to post that, man, and Lucas always blocks me, man. I always get the little red flag. You can't post that on IG. I'm like, dang it. Yeah. I'm like, damn it.
Talking about fan films, this just popped back in my head. Did y'all ever see, and I think it actually influenced the films, was Ryan versus Dorkman, I think it was. It's just two of them. They're in street clothes, but they're doing a lightsaber duel. Mm-hmm. And this was like early 2000s, maybe. I think maybe Phantom Menace was out or whatever. And then they did this. But it was like their lightsaber battle, like took, the Obi-Wan Maul at the end there and kind of took it to the next, right. And I think it influenced the movies to go, hey, man, we can even step this up more. But anyway, go look that one up.
That one always throws my brother off about it. He always asks me, how can you have these guys who fight so dynamically and the way they do in the prequels, and then you move into the old original trilogy, and everybody's kind of like
it doesn't fit.
Fighting. It doesn't fit.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I mean, it was made earlier. I mean, what do you want to...
Well, the way he tried to explain it, because if you watch some of Lucas's videos, so it was the weight of the lightsaber, but it was also, you got to think that they were older, and then Luke is not trained.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Hamill has said in interviews, he said, that George would tell us these things are heavy, they're powerful.
Heavy.
He wanted it more like a two-handed sword, medieval times or whatever. Right. So it's just he changed his mind, and now it doesn't quite fit the flow, but cuz script.
So sometimes one director doesn't always fix something.
Right.
Especially if he writes it.
What's the famous thing Carrie Fisher always said? Faster, more intense.
Yeah. If y'all had never seen when she roasts George Lucas,
classic.
It's really good.
I gotta see that.
You haven't seen it?
My God.
Oh my God, dude! It has
been a while since I've seen it.
It is unreal.
I gotta check the. I gotta make a list of things to watch now when I get off the show.
Yeah,
her roast is top notch.
She was a lot younger, and
she didn't pull any punches either.
Yeah,
no, she did not.
It was classic.
Got a question here. They're asking, do you think that they're running to Kanan again?
I doubt it, because it would have to be years later, so he's still a kid.
Well, no, in the Bad Batch series, like, do you think he's going to come
in
back
the
into play?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. How many seasons are they going to run?
Yeah.
How many episodes
I don't know if it's going to be in this
season?
I think 12? No, I can't remember. You
I want to say it was 14.
14?
Okay. I think it is.
I mean, I don't know that it would play out that well. It's because when you run into Kanan again in the Rebels, he's kind of, keeping it quiet that he's a Jedi. He doesn't really want to deal with anybody else about that.
He's already with his future baby mama and everything.
And he was surprised when they ran into the clones again, in that.
16.
So it's like, there's 16 episodes. Okay.
Yep.
Thor says he wants to see a backstory of the Rancor monster trainer.
They have that. There is a fan film for that.
Yeah, there actually is. There's a fan film for it. Yep.
Yeah. Shows him as a kid.
They're
trying to explain why he cries whenever he
explaining the relationship between the Rancor and him is because he finds the Rancor when it hatched.
Yep.
Oh man. Yeah, Seth's running through the field with the 80s music thing going,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He ordered the smaller sideshow version, and then
then
he got the bigger one.
I just spent all that money.
It just fell.
Matthew is saying like a claymore. I think that's what we're meaning by the lightsaber weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Okay, so Thrawn said it was 18 episodes, but you're confirmed it's 16.
Yeah. Well, what I just saw on Google.
All right. Well, there's another rumor floating around that they're thinking that the Mandalorian season 3 is going to deal with more of Rey's story. That's going to bring us into our main topic of the show today. But what do you guys think about that rumor? I hope to God that's wrong.
Me, man.
Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
I didn't hear that rumor, George. So now you just literally like knocked the wind out of me. I'm like,
Oh, I'm
why?
sorry. Ruined your Sunday. My bad.
Okay.
I hope
So
it's not that.
realistically, I mean, you would think they would have to. They're trying to, they got to try and make it right or whatever and put it all together.
I
It's
have
what
a
takes
simple
place later,
solution
setting it up.
to make it all right. I have
Okay.
a simple solution, and the simple solution is
Time
make
travel.
episode 7, 8, and 9 into the expanded universe. Done. They no longer are canon, and now we can focus on a real F7, 8, and 9. Or don't even go that route. Do something else.
Mhm.
It's a whole new
Yeah.
line called Myths.
Myths.
Right.
Star Wars myths.
Dream sequence.
That
Yeah.
is, they're definitely
It's
not
never
gonna do that.
happened. Line.
Yeah, I don't even see how that could fit in right, because you're talking
Yep.
about 20-something years passing from where he's at currently. He's 3 years after Return of the Jedi. He's gonna be an old man if they do that. Din Djarin. I wouldn't like that.
Because when I heard that theory, my
Mm-hmm.
immediate thought was they're going to make Omega her mom.
Oh, get what you're
But-
saying.
Because if you look at some of the pictures, and I've seen people posting it, some of her mannerisms and even her haircut looks like the animated Palpatine.
I saw that. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's what my head kind of went to. And some of her, how she holds her hands and stuff. If you go back and look at some of the footage, like he does the same thing.
Okay. All right. So wait a minute. So
I see the hair thing. Yeah.
yeah. Okay. But let's play this out into to where it is at the end. At the end, he
Careful the
confirms,
rabbit hole you go down.
Okay, wait. At the end, he confirms that the father of Rey is Palpatine, actually, a clone of Palpatine. So you're trying to tell me
non-force.
that the clone of Palpatine and the clone of Palpatine got together and made Rey?
From a certain point of view.
Oh my god. That's like a whole new level of incest, man.
Right.
I don't know about
Wow.
that. I don't know about that.
And it's Alpha or whatever the girl's name that actually has the force powers or
Right.
brings
Omega.
that into Rey. Yeah, Omega that brings that into Rey. Wow.
Alpha and Omega.
Yeah. Wow. I hadn't heard that one either. Jesus.
No, that's just what I was thinking.
Okay.
Is how they could do it, because it's just looking at some of the visuals of her and then seeing the cartoon version of Palpatine. I'm like, they look way too much alike.
Mm.
And and he just seems like he would have been crazy enough to clone himself,
He would.
because
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was high up on himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. Thrawn's asking, how do you guys feel about the continuity errors in the new canon? Just notice that Tarkin becomes Grand Moff years before in the Vader comic than he does in the Tarkin novel. I don't think all of the Tarkin novels are considered canon, though, right?
The new ones are, yeah.
The new ones are considered, but the previous ones aren't.
There's no previous Tarkin ones.
There wasn't isn't the
Thrawn. You're thinking about
trilogy.
Thrawn.
Tarkin, my bad. Oops.
Yeah.
The two T's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a little bit of an error there.
So that's what I've got back into the comics. I do read the books, so I'm trying to get all that line back up.
Okay.
Been out
I
of
gotta
it for
get
a
into
while.
that.
Yeah.
Let's see, Thor is saying, laugh my ass off. Actually, the story of Star Wars Tales of Jabba's Palace book. There is a chapter in the book that's better than the fan film. Leads up all the way to the scene when Luke kills the Rancor. So I'm guessing that's the backstory.
So yeah, there was 3 books. There was Tales from Mos Eisley Cantina, Tales of the Bounty Hunters, and then the Jabba's Palace. And what it does is like little, so like in the Tales from the Cantina, all the characters that you see in the background, each one of them have a short story in the book.
Nice.
And it's really cool how it all leads up, and so you're seeing all these different perspectives of what went down in the cantina, and like what led them all to be at the cantina.
Is this special
Yeah,
edition?
this is Legends.
Oh, okay.
And how they felt about being replaced with CG later.
Yeah. But the thing you have to think about with these legends is that he's using it for a basis for all the new stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
You
They
know,
are.
so it's like he's like, okay, screw you. These are the actual stories. We're gonna stick to this.
Well, I mean, that's Admiral Thrawn right there.
Yep.
Thrawn was literally taken for the book, and they said, "Okay, we just throw him in here, and we're going to make him a super badass." And they did, and now I want to know. I really wanted Mando to go into finding Thrawn because Ahsoka, let on like
Right.
she's still looking for him, and so then you have the Ezra story in there too, like where the hell is Ezra? What the hell happened to him, and so forth. But Rey,
That's why I'm really looking forward to when they do the live action with him, because Filoni talked to Timothy Zahn before he did the Thrawn in the cartoons, and he really caught who he was. I mean, I read Heir to the Empire when it first came out, and just
so did
how
I.
you fell in love with that character, and like that dude was way more sinister than Tarkin or Vader without being that sinister.
Yeah. He was cold and calculating.
He was cold
Yeah,
and
right.
calculating. That's a good thing. Good way to describe that guy.
Yeah.
Tactical, yeah.
Yeah, very tactical.
With all the hate for the new trilogy, for the sequel trilogy, do you guys feel that? And I'm getting this from Ralph over here because he posted this on his Instagram. Do you guys feel that if you had a time machine, you go back in time, would you stop George Lucas from selling to Disney?
Hell yeah.
Deadpool. Oh.
Yeah. Would you do that? Also consider that. Do you think The Mandalorian would have come about had Disney not been there? Do you think
Right.
So
Well,
I'll even step it up one further. Do you think if he saw what would happen, would he sell it?
Oh, if he already knew episode 7, 8, and 9, and he knew Mandalorian and Clone Wars, would he have sold it? Because the success comes from the TV shows, has come from the TV shows. I mean, Mark Hamill even said, "That's not my Luke Skywalker."
Right.
And then he
Right.
got kind of pow-powed, and he's like, "Oh, well, that's not what I meant." It's like, "No, but that's what you said, Mark, and we all heard you, and we all feel the same." But
it's only 7, 8, and 9. Rogue One was a success, and Han Solo was a great
Right.
movie. Solo was a good movie. Nobody gave it a chance.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
I didn't.
So
In
I
protest.
liked it, but it still wasn't what I was hoping for.
For Solo,
Yeah, just
I love
because
that.
I read so much about how they met up and what they did.
yeah,
So you got to think from my point, I've watched it since 77 and I've read all that stuff when there was nothing.
right.
So we had to rely on that. And then, that is how he meets him. He is a prisoner. He saves him.
Right.
But, there's a little variation in there. But I did love the movie.
I really
I
enjoyed
absolutely love that movie.
I
For me, it
remember
was
there was a book. I think it's called The Art of Star Wars, and they literally had a scene of Chewbacca escaping an Imperial prison with Han Solo injured. He was saving Solo because Solo had tried to escape with him and stuff. And I was like, how can I get this on film? It didn't live up to it, but the one that Rogue One was an absolutely amazing film. I loved it, and we got the Vader scene, and we got the scene of stealing the plans and who stole the plans and all that. I was like, dude, this is a perfect movie. I love this. And you see Gold Leader and everybody who we know are dead because we've seen episode 4. I'm like, give me this every day. Why did we have to get 7, 8, and 9? Garbage.
I mean, even when I was watching Rogue One, and I was satisfied with when they dropped the taintive and it took off. I was like, that was freaking sweet. I love that.
Oh,
and then it went to the next bit, and it was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, Rogue One's my probably fourth, either
Yeah.
third or fourth favorite movie.
Rogue One is up there for me too. Yeah, really great movie. It was unexpected.
Exactly. It wasn't
really, really
expected.
Where
I
do
know
you
there
think
were a
they
lot
went
of people
wrong?
prepping them.
I mean, where do you think they went wrong with 7, 8, and 9? Because for me, when I saw Force Awakens, I admit that I didn't think it was that bad. I actually enjoyed Force Awakens. I went and saw it more than a few times when in the theater.
What went wrong with 7, 8, and 9?
Yeah.
KK. Kathleen Kennedy.
If
There
you
was
could
no
change
continuity.
the continuity, I think is the biggest thing.
There was, in essence, there was no collaboration at all.
That's really what I think.
Yeah.
That
No plan,
There was
There
no
you needed some
plan.
guy at the
which is
top.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
You needed some guy that said, okay, this is where we're gonna go. Don't deviate. You can tell your story, but don't deviate too far from this overall arcing story.
Right.
You know.
I mean, Lucas had different directors even for 5 and 6, didn't he? So he did 4, but then he had the guy who did episode 5, but Lucas was there, and he was like, no, you can't do that. No, you got to save that. No, this is right. That's wrong. You got to tell it differently. I don't think anybody did that for 7, 8, and 9. And then, you see characters who have been established in the lore for so many years, and we have now expanded universe books, and we have all these other things. So we know who Luke Skywalker is, who he should be. Okay, you're going to make your 7, 8, and 9, and then you chuck that out the window, and you make Luke literally throw the lightsaber. And I'm like, what the hell is that?
And that's the big part for me is that I can accept if that was how Luke ended up being, but
Correct.
get me there.
Yeah.
Get
You
me
did.
there. You didn't do that. All we did was we got left with this, and then what we have, outside of the movies is this, and what we saw in Return of the Jedi, he just improved upon and got stronger. And then now you put us into the trilogy, and he's a little bitch.
Yeah, that and there's 2 other gripes that I have. One is the fact that this kid who has yet to be trained is now super force sensitive. Rey she's barely trained by Luke. Barely trained by Luke. And then you do have the dream sequence or the flashback where Luke is trying to kill his nephew because he sensed the dark side. Yet his father, I won't fight you. I won't kill you, father.
Yeah,
But
I'll
his
redeem you,
nephew-
but I'm just going to kill you.
I'm going to kill the kid.
Right.
It's like, what? What the heck happened? Who is this?
Well, you see, there's you're subscribed to the idea that Rey learned her abilities or learned whatever she did quickly, but Luke also really didn't get a lot of training from Yoda when they showed. If you just took the movies into account and none of the stories,
But
to
to me,
that argument
7, 8 happen like back to back.
they do.
They
Or
happen back to back.
Well, they feel like some time passes between 7 and 8. No, they
Yeah,
do happen
but
back to back.
Even
Right.
with Dagobah, it's not like it was just 2 days.
No.
There was a lot of time there.
There
that
was
had
months
passed.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And now
You
with
think
the
it was
comic
months?
book,
Yeah,
well,
it was.
if you read in the
weeks.
comic book, now they're filling in so much in the comic book where you see Luke growing to finally when he does get to Dagobah, he's got some more, at least, he's learning along the way. But I didn't see episode 4, the explosion of Death Star 1 to Hoth as weeks. I saw that like, maybe half a year because
Man, it felt like a week to me.
Han was like, no, that guy that we ran into, I got to get to Jabba. I've been helping you guys out. I helped move you guys. I mean, moving an entire rebel fleet from Yavin to Hoth is not going to happen like that to me in my head.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
the time period between A New Hope and Empire, I think there was probably more than a month, probably more like a year or so. That probably
So,
happened.
according to official Lucasfilm, Luke spent 18 months on Dagobah.
18 months on Dagobah.
What?
Yep.
Wow, that much time passes? I did not get that
I
vibe
didn't-
from
And
the
then there was a
from the
6-month window between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
That
Wow.
was
I-
about right.
That
Yeah.
seems about right. But the 18 months on Dagobah,
I did not
because he
get that
literally
vibe.
left Hoth and then he leaves to go save his friends. That seems like he was there for like maybe a week.
That's what I
to me.
felt. Yeah, in the film.
Yeah,
Right,
but it-
right.
So
Huh.
that's why. I mean, and you got to think too. That makes a little sense of why he could stand up a little bit to Vader. 'Cause
Right,
but
if,
if you just
if
talk
it had
the
just been a
film.
week, and he went straight saw Vader, I mean,
Because you got to figure a lot of fans are just taking the movies into account. They don't even watch the animated series, so let
Right.
alone reading into lore like this. So, like what Ralph said, to me that felt like a week in the movie.
Well,
Like,
Well,
but
Just
that's why you
popped
have
into-
us too, right?
Just popped into my mind. If you remember, Yoda tells Luke, he said, "Remember your failure at the cave," and that just struck my mind. I was like, if it wasn't a long period of time, he wouldn't have said, "Remember it." If it happened yesterday, well, duh,
Right.
of course I remember it. So that
Yeah.
actually does fit.
but here's my thing. You have Han Solo leaving Hoth with Leia, C-3PO, and Chewbacca. They spent 18 months to get to Dagobah? I mean, to Bespin?
to best
Dude, do you
yeah.
know how much
Traffic.
how much does a Falcon break down, dude?
How much? They're still wearing the same clothes for 18 months.
That's what I'm saying. They're wearing the same clothes, exactly. Unless Lightspeed is just that. It's like it's going fast, and then the rest of the time is going slow.
Actually,
okay.
Carrie Fisher explains the whole clothes thing in the roast as well too. So
she does?
Again,
Okay.
watch that.
I know the duct tape, but other than that,
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So, so getting into the sequel trilogy, the biggest thing, like Luke, right? Luke, like you said, Luke's wasn't the Luke we expected him to be. Being a hermit.
Right.
So I think the biggest throw off for me with that was that he was so goofy, with the throwing of the lightsaber, the showing him kind of like really giving into his emotions the way he did. But you think it's possible that could have happened to him, considering this is his nephew that he lost now. Raising kids can really drive you crazy. Again,
I mean, I don't think
Drives me
that's a
crazy.
bad. I don't think that's a bad assumption. That seeing that he let his nephew fall to the dark side, he goes into hiding. Kind of, I mean, Yoda went into hiding when he failed to beat Palpatine. We know Obi-Wan went into hiding to watch the kid, but Luke just stayed there as a hermit. And the only thing that Rian Johnson did right was put Red 5 at the bottom, so that way we could continue the storyline. That's it. So that way that would. To me, JJ had to save this thing, Episode 9, and he had to deal with whatever he had left. So, okay, he put Red 5 there so we could bring that back. But other than that, like that and the sucking on the tea, with the blue milk, and it's like, okay, he's not really training this girl, Because I could see your theory of, okay, jumping into hyperspace, you're still aging the same age, as you normally would in a day, but time is you're traveling through some type of time warp, so time is passing 18 months and something. So I could see Luke being on Dagobah for those 18 months, kind of like you were saying that the official Lucas site says or whatever. But to me, it felt like maybe a week, but they were jumping through time. So they jumped 2 months, 5 months, 3 months, whatever, to finally they get to Bespin of Sealango.
Elijah's asking how come J.J. Abrams left for the second film.
Because there was actually there were supposed to be 3 different directors. There was JJ was doing the first one, and then I don't remember who the other 2 were. I don't know if it was supposed to go in that sequence. But then after the second one was all screwed up, they got rid of the third one.
I saw that.
And so they brought JJ back because they thought he was going to be able to bring that back.
Well, the guys from
tie it up, but they were relying on the success of The Force Awakens. The only reason for the success of The Force Awakens was we got a new Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Right.
And the second film was Rian Johnson's, and the third film was supposed to be, I think, the guys who worked on Game of Thrones. But their storyline is completely different. Their story that they had really focused heavily on Carrie, and she passed away. And so they're like, sorry, we're not going your route. We can't go your route. She's dead.
gone,
The actress is dead.
And the other thing is, you don't want the Game of Thrones guys doing the last of anything.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes, we all know that.
I mean, Force Awakens though I got the feels when I saw Force Awakens, like seeing Han and Chewie again. I felt cool about it.
Bits and pieces, but as soon as they show Starkiller Base, I'm like, really?
Oh yeah. When they brought Starkiller Base in, I was like, okay. And then the dude's like, "This is the Death Star. This is the. It's bigger." I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know. But I got the general feels of it. Like, you had a really awesome pilot. They, Poe at the beginning seemed awesome. He seemed cool. Like the guy you want to go into battle with. I liked the little bit of humor that he had, like when he first met Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren looked really vicious, and I liked the suit and the T lightsaber.
I was all in for him until he started doing his whiny bit.
Yeah.
And when he got to his whiny bit, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, even still, I still think Force Awakens was overall okay.
It was a good start.
Good start.
Drove the bus off the cliff from there.
Yeah, and then and they set up the whole thing of Rey being something more, and I think that's really what annoyed the shit out of me in the second film.
I thought
what happened? What I missed?
Did my wife walk in?
She did.
I forgot to put the sign up.
Rey's being pitched to us at the end of Force Awakens, or during the Force Awakens, when she sees the lightsaber and she goes to grab it and she can hear all of these voices.
Yeah.
That there's some lineage to her. There's something more.
Well, we
about
were
her.
all speculating. Is she a Kenobi? Is she a Skywalker? Is she a Palpatine? And everybody had theories.
My thoughts was just that she was one of Luke's former students, and I would have loved that. She didn't necessarily need to be the daughter of anybody, just as long as she was one of the students that survived. With the mind wipe thing, that would be kind of like the whole Revan story.
Yeah.
So how would you feel if it would have been not episode 7, 8, and 9?
Just nothing?
It's just its own thing. Because that's the whole problem with this, right? We're 7, 8, and 9. So it's like it went from talking about Anakin, how he becomes Darth Vader. Then it's his kids. So now it should continue in that family sense, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, but her taking the name does not continue the family story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I think 9 was just a lot of... We're trying to play to all the fans here to make everybody happy.
Yeah.
You know? I think that's really what happened there. So while it was... I didn't get as bad of vibes as I got when I saw 8. I wasn't walking out of that theater like, woohoo, they saved it, So,
right.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't have an Ewok party after that. So,
no.
Yeah.
Although you kind of want to. Eat some of those people that made it.
John says, I think you guys are onto something important. There was simply too little time to pass between each film. What worked great about the original trilogy is how Luke had time to develop so much between 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, Luke developed between 4 and 5. He got some training in 5. Then we had the whole, at least to me, I still think Shadows of the Empire still exist, but that's just me.
Yeah. That's a great story.
Jason's got a good point. I don't know what the Solo situation was, but when Ron Howard took it over, I mean, it sounded like it was a mess. And if it was that much of a mess, he sure did a hell of a job of saving it because it was a good movie.
I think it was great. It was fun.
I like Ron Howard.
And I like Ron Howard's movies. I mean, Willow.
Yep.
I really enjoyed Willow.
Peck.
Yeah. Peck.
So is the Kessel Run? Did it live up to everything you expected?
I love that.
Yeah, it was fun. I was good with it.
No, I always imagine a race. Oh,
a race.
Yeah, like an actual race. And when I
kind of imagine the same thing.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't my Kessel Run, but okay, we'll get through it.
Dude, the only parts of Solo that bug me is like, trying to explain the parsecs thing with, in the cantina scene.
Oh, okay.
His name Solo, some of those were like, okay, give me a break.
Yeah.
There was a few of those.
The name thing was pretty weak.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a few of, it's just like, you don't have to explain everything. Just let it be.
I imagined a race, but just like, Len and Ralph, I did imagine a race when I first heard the whole thing about the Kessel Run. Because I always looked at the Falcon as like a sports ship, it's like the sports car of the Star Wars galaxy, and I love that thing.
A little crappy Mach 5 in space. Yeah, that's what I looked at it.
But I mean, they did. I think they did it justice. Yeah. They did the whole NOS and that thing when they pumped that.
Yeah.
Forgot what the name of that stuff is.
I did though enjoy. What's the robot that Lando had? Was it L33T? Or
L something.
Yeah, he plugged her into, because she was dying, they plugged her into the Falcon. And then you kind of go back and you see C-3PO talking about the Falcon in Episode 5. She has a peculiar type of dialect. I don't know where she get, and it's the robots in there.
And tying that noise into it whenever he transferred it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was pretty good. And Lando, you got to say, Childish Gambino or whatever the guy's real name is, that was in Spider-Man as well. He was great. He looked just like Lando.
Nailed it. And sounded like him.
Yeah, I'm like, I need a movie of him. Give me a Lando movie.
Yeah,
I'll be all in there.
Right. Yep.
Like cutting down different capes and different star systems.
Yeah.
It's Glover, isn't it?
Yeah. Daniel Glover. Daniel Glover.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another Danny Glover.
Yeah.
But that whole scene of the Kessel Run, I mean, I think even the song is called Reminiscent Therapy or something like that. And if you guys have ever heard it, it's a series of different songs that they played throughout the Star Wars trilogy, the original trilogy, with the Falcon. So like they had the music from the asteroid chase, the one where they're fighting at the original Death Star, the second Death Star, the Star Wars intro, and it's all melded in. And so if you're listening to that and you're seeing them take over the ship and all the things they're doing, I was all in it, man. I was like, man, this is great. This is fun. So
And let me tell you, the music plays a big part into it. I mean, it really connects you to that scene, especially that you grew up watching those other films, and then they plug in the right soundtrack. Makes a big difference.
All right, here we go. It's Thrawn's asking, how do you guys feel about Kylo returning to the light in Episode 9? I always felt that Rey should have joined Kylo, and that the Resistance should have to stop them together. I'm guessing is what I mean. But realized that they had to take over or that they could have been too dark.
Too dark.
Realized that they could have been too dark. Okay, sorry. I'm really bad at reading, by the way, guys. I'm sorry.
Probably operating off an hour and a half of sleep.
Right.
I think I'm doing pretty good for that matter, anyway. I didn't like the way that he returned to the light, and I hated the love story part. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah.
That was.
I
annoying.
think they did that more for kids and everybody else. I don't think some little girl going to the Disney park would be dressed up as Rey if Rey had gone to the dark side. I think that's
true.
That's their thing. She's our heroine, and we're going to keep her as that. And we're going to bring the bad guy to be good. She did her job. She redeemed him like Luke redeemed, Vader. But yeah, I wanted him to stay dark. I really wanted to stay dark. And there were clips or at least panels drawn out that the original director for Episode 9 had for Luke actually like poking fun at his nephew as a Force ghost, just haunting him. And I would have loved to see that, like Luke show up on the ship that Kylo was on and just like, you can't keep up with this girl. She's better than you. And just, he can't fight the ghost. He's like, leave me alone. And he's like, no, I'm here every day, buddy. I'm going to make fun of you every day. Every day. He's like,
the ultimate troll.
I can see that.
Troll.
Mark Hamill would do that pretty well, right?
Yeah. And a Joker voice once.
Yeah.
But that would have been a great addition if they would at least taken that. And I didn't like the story of Hux being the traitor of the guy who betrayed the First Order, who was a spy.
Oh,
is that his name?
Yeah. General Hux.
General Hux.
He was horrible.
Yeah,
I was like, this sucks, bro. I wanted it, especially that you saw him in the first movie that they did with him, and dude, this guy was screaming like a. No offense to anybody, but like a Nazi German, like we're gonna destroy. It's big coming out, and you're like, yo, this guy's legit 100% sold out, and he's like, yo, I'm the spy, and you're like, what? Come on, bro.
That made no sense.
Yeah, that made no sense to me. And they had him literally killing himself like a samurai does, in Japan.
Yeah.
But when he ignited the lightsaber that he had, it was a purple lightsaber, and you're like, what? And he would have killed himself on Coruscant, because the whole battle would have taken place on Coruscant. But I'm like, oh man, there are certain things that I really wanted to see.
Yeah, things that didn't make any sense. In the second film, there was the whole going to the Tanto whatever that
Canto.
Casino. Yeah, Canto.
Yeah.
Canto Bite, right?
Canto Blight.
Oh, yeah. Vegas in space.
Vegas, didn't dig that. Then you had that whole thing going on with the spy that could help them get in, and then he traded on them. I was just like, who's even good in this galaxy anymore?
Yeah.
And let's not forget riding the horses on the spaceship.
Yeah.
I want that mind erase thing for that movie.
Right?
Yeah. I tried to forget it.
Attack of the Clones, when Obi-Wan's on that lizard, that made more sense. Going up the wall and everything like that. That made a whole lot more sense. That creature, I can buy that. But we're going into battle. Bring the horses.
Oh, yeah. At the end?
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Yeah, I just remember that scene now.
And I remember seeing the Sith troopers, the red stormtroopers, and I'm like, yo, these guys look legit. And imagining, okay, do these guys have force powers? Can these guys shoot? Whatever. And they were just cannon fodder. It's like, I didn't even get to see these guys, barely like 5 minutes of film time. And I'm like, you sold them to me, and now there's a Hot Toys of them and another Hot Toys of them, and I got to collect them. And it's like, no, they weren't anybody.
Right. And then look at, so back in the day, introduced Boba Fett, right? Does he really do anything? Nope, he just looks badass.
Yes.
You get Darth Maul. He don't do a whole lot, but when he did, it was badass.
Yeah.
Right.
And you bring in Captain Phasma. Looks freaking cool.
Right.
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Stand there. Yeah.
Nothing.
Did not understand that at all. There was just so many characters that they sold to us as being very cool, and then it was like their stories were weak.
Nothing happened.
The only thing that got redeemed was Maul, because we had Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah,
and he was even inside the Solo film.
Yeah, he was like, well, Maul got redeemed, but Maul even at the beginning, I went back 6 times to see Episode 1 simply for that end scene.
Right.
That end scene was sick.
Yep.
So, it was awesome seeing that. In this one, I just never got that. They had even that fight that Rey and Kylo had against Snoke's henchmen.
Those Imperial guards.
Those Imperial guards, yeah. That wasn't the same.
Praetorian guards, I think they were.
It looked cool. The scene looked great, but then these guards, to me, that's it. They were cannon fodder.
Too choreographed for me, that battle.
Yeah, it was like that. Very colorful. It was cinematically, it looked pretty, but that was it. The death of Snoke was just, what the hell?
Yeah.
You're building this guy up as the new emperor, and then it was like, and if the whole idea was to bring the emperor back from there, I wish that would have dragged on a little bit more, or some more hints about that starting from Force Awakens. I just think that okay, we're gonna bring the emperor back now. Let's just throw that in there, and everybody will love it. It's because he survived the fall.
And there was so much hope. I can tell you, I was at Celebration when they released the trailer for Episode 9 for the first time. And there was so much hope in that arena. The place was completely packed, and they threw that down, and then you finally hear the cackle of Palpatine. Everybody just went nuts. I mean, I would sit next to Japanese people, Spanish people, English-speaking Germans, and everybody was screaming like, "Oh, yeah!" And then Palpatine, the actor, comes out, and he's like, "Roll it again," and everybody's going nuts, and they played it again. And we had so much hope, and then when we get it, it's like, man, it just...
Yeah, it fell flat.
Yeah.
Did you see Thor?
What did he say?
He said all Episode 9 needed was pigs in space.
Pigs in space.
Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Jason said something. There you go.
The Knights of Ren. The Knights of Ren is like, even when I did my review on that, it's like I put the Backstreet song the minute they came out. It's like they had that one scene where they all stood up on a rock, and then it was like, Backstreet's back, all right. And that was it. Nothing else came of them after that.
Even if they would have just said neat, that would have been all right.
Yeah, nothing. Didn't feel that. Trying to think what else that happened there. Okay, the whole sword thing, right? To find out where the hidden I don't know, the holocron, the Sith holocron. Yeah. To find out where the hidden Sith holocron was. How was that sword developed to know exactly where this Death Star was going to fall, and how did they know that the Death Star after this many years was going to be covered in water? And
that you were going to stand at that point.
Exactly. I was like, it makes no sense.
If you're 100 feet over that way, it doesn't work.
It's very much the Goonies. Look, right there.
Yeah. Right. Just needed the ship and One Eye Willie. The people just feeling the Force, like, they had Jesus in them. I was like, I don't know what that.
But the cluelessness started with Han's death in 7. To the writers there, and people will say, well, everything doesn't have to be fan service. But I mean, it even bothers Hamill if you see him in interviews, that once Carrie died, we didn't really they got the scene in Johnson's.
Where they're all together.
Yeah, right, exactly. So imagine that scene, and looking through the window is Luke and Leia, even if they're with the new guys, and the new that they're trying to establish or whatever. But imagine the emotional impact of that scene if Leia and Luke are witnessing, that, and Leia's like, "No, Ben," as he does it or whatever. It's just like, you've got to find a way to write one scene into all that. It's like, how can you be that clueless?
Right. So two things, and on that cluelessness, how do you not, when Chewie and Leia see each other, that they don't hug?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's just as bad as not giving Chewie the medal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, how much do you think that the only reason they killed off Han is because that's the only way they could get Harrison Ford to come back? Because he always wanted him killed off.
Yeah.
He wanted to die in Episode 5.
Yeah.
Right.
It is, but you still got to write around it to make it satisfying.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody mentioned Broom Boy, same scenario. I can understand Broom Boy just being, a future force sensitive kid that, he was born and there were no Jedi Knights to take him to get trained and so forth. But there were just so many missed opportunities.
I agree.
I mean, you just Ray just literally put Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber in sand. And we know how he feels about sand. And you literally just pushed it into sand.
I didn't even think about that until you said that right now.
It's like, do you not understand? Did you not get the memo?
They should have had his Force Ghost come out at the end and go, no!
Are you freaking kidding me?
He starts trolling her. You're not
They get everywhere.
Yeah.
So Len brings up a good point.
What'd Len say?
Len's saying Ryan Johnson better not touch Star Wars ever again. Now, how do you feel about? So I don't think his cinematography or any of that was bad, but how much of it is his fault?
I think a lot of it was just because you got
to think he's got a boss.
He does.
He's got a boss.
But did he write those things like of Luke?
And I don't know. So, like, what's it going to be like if one director gets their own trilogy, right? So if he gets his own trilogy, I've never seen any of the guy's other films, so I don't know. It could be that he's just crap. Mm-hmm. But if he just gets his own trilogy, he gets to see it from beginning to end. Would it be that bad?
Possibly not. I have seen some of his other movies, and they're not bad. Like I can't remember them off the top of my head. In fact, I'm going to look at it right now.
Your heterosexual life mate is upset.
Did he do Knives Out?
I think he did. And I thought Knives Out was a great movie.
And that was a great movie.
Yep.
So I don't know if you remember, George, whenever we had this conversation, it was actually the first time I was on Geek Show, and Chad was defending, I won't say defending, but he was playing devil's advocate with Ryan Johnson.
Right.
And I asked him, I said, have you ever seen the interview with Ryan Johnson where he says, my objective in a movie is for half the people to love it and for half the people to walk out hating it? And Chad was like, he said that?
Oh,
he said it, bro. It's on YouTube.
He said that. That's crap.
He did say that.
He said it. I'll send you the link. I'll put the link in the description underneath. He said, that's my objective in a movie. Half people love it, half people hate it. And I was like, you don't do that with Star Wars.
Yeah. That's not with this. It's too big of a franchise. Yeah. I mean, Jedi Shizzle said, Kathleen is the problem. And I think a lot of it does fall under her shoulders,
But then she's also, The Mandalorian is under, even though it was done by Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
But she has to give the green light.
She has to give the green light, so you got to give her her props on some things.
Yep.
So it's not,
and that's what I've always been saying.
But I think what happened there was that she just let him go, balls out on this, and then he's not a fan of it, so he doesn't read up on the story. Because I think if you're gonna make a Star Wars movie and write a Star Wars film and all that stuff, you gotta be into all of the other lore so that you can understand.
You have to know it.
Yeah.
So part of the deal for the sale was Kathleen had to go with it because she's been with him forever, right? Yeah. So
before you keep going, let's say what's up to Seth. What's up, Seth?
What's up, Seth?
I know I saw that. He's like, he wasn't invited. The link was right there in the chat.
I'm saying. Anyway.
But so that was part of the agreement that Kathleen Kennedy had to remain president of Lucasfilm. Mm-hmm. And then she gets over there, but then, okay, we just spent $4 billion. Who do you think's really calling the shots?
Yeah, the mouse.
Right. So there's a whole bunch of people, and then their board of directors all getting involved in something that they don't understand.
Yeah. That's the thing. You have to be a fan. You have to know the lore. You have to know the characters. I mean, to me, okay, let's say we get episode 7 with JJ, and then you get the final scene where Rey is sticking the lightsaber out to Mark Hamill, and Mark Hamill gets it. Now, how many of us analyze that one frame so many times? Like, where the heck is he? What's his surroundings? What's going on at the end of episode 7? You start episode 8. I could have sworn on a Bible that at the foot of Mark Hamill was a stone that looked like a tombstone, like a headstone. And maybe Kylo killed Myra. Maybe Kylo killed Myra Jade. And if Kylo killed Myra Jade, now we have a reason why the guy's either in hiding or he wants to go after him, whatever. He literally tosses it. There's no mention of Myra Jade, no nothing. And I'm like, okay, well, there's no reason for this, you know? I was like, if you would have read it, you could have said, okay, we can insert 2 or 3 reasons why he would have gone after this kid. But no, he just had a bad feeling the kid was, you know, going to go to the dark side and lights up and ready to kill the kid. And the kid's like, no, you know, and like, what? That's not my mark.
Yeah, see, that wouldn't make any sense anyway, because that's your nephew, right? Like, as bad as my nephews are, I ain't going to try to kill him. You're going to try to, you know, help
It didn't make sense to me. And I could have, you know, I would force hold him or whatever, and we would have gone at it. But if he had killed his wife, it would have been a different story, you know? I mean, they could have pulled anything from the Yuuzhan Vaughn trilogies. They could have pulled anything from any of the expanded universe. There's so much written out there to literally say, you know, pick. Let's drop it in a movie.
Yeah, but then that's when they put a dagger in my heart, was when they were like, okay, these are legends. They never happened.
Yeah, that killed me.
That was crap.
The
reason you could spend $4 billion and expect to get it back is because of that.
Yeah, because literally anything prior to 2014 is legends or expanded universe or whatever, and anything after 2014 on, including Clone Wars, we're going to keep into canon. Okay.
Or it's like depends on the nephew.
Yeah. The nephew that drops your Rancor, you're going to kill him.
Oh yeah. I guess, yeah. It depends on what they do, right? Even kids. But no, man. But still, that didn't make any sense to me why he would take and ignite the lightsaber the way he did.
Yeah.
You know? And then lie about it.
Yeah. And then lie about
Len's
it.
comment up.
With Glenn?
Len.
Oh, Len.
Where it says, I love that picture.
Love which picture? Was it
yeah, look at where it's there. You go.
I love that picture on the set of The Mandalorian where you see John, Dave,
I was going to bring that up earlier.
Yeah.
Yep. She's in the back.
Yeah.
You're not in the boys' club. Sorry.
Yeah, Kathleen. I think that says a lot. I think it said a lot.
Somebody wrote up here that they're saying that Ryan wants to direct an episode of The Mandalorian. I hope not.
Yeah, there's screaming. He's screaming about that, but true or not, I don't know.
But unless he has, like, again, if he has some direction that says, okay, this is our overarching story, you know, it's possible he could probably do a good job.
I mean, he probably could, because Dave and the other guy, John, would probably be like, no,
right,
yeah,
no, right.
Yeah. That's not how the Force works.
So the question earlier was how much it was KK's fault in the Rian Johnson deal. It's one of two things: either she watched the whole thing go down and did not say this is going to be a problem, you know, with where the story's going, where we established the story was going, and where it actually went. Or she just like, here, you take it, and first director doesn't know what's directed. Either way, it falls at her feet. You know, either she's clueless to look at it and go, this is going to be a train wreck, or she was absent. Either way, it's her fault.
So if it was really hers, do you think they would, she'd still be there? Or was the people behind the scenes, behind her, like really the problem, and that's why she's still there?
I mean, I think it's a mixture of two, because, I mean, the standalone films maybe did not do amazing in the box office, but fans love them. I mean, Solo, you guys talk highly about it. You know, Rogue One, we all still speak highly of it, you know, and the trilogy is what kind of got butchered, you know, and I think it's the disjoint of, okay, you do whatever you want, and you try to figure out what the rest of the guys did, you know, and I think that's where the flaw lied. I think you needed to have a plan. This will be the beginning, this will be the end, and then somehow you guys got to interweave into each other.
And it's not like it couldn't work, because the original trilogy had 3 different directors.
Yeah,
right.
Correct. They told one cohesive story with that whole thing.
Correct.
Yep. With Ian McDermott being,
not Ian,
Irvin Kershner being the best one.
Yeah,
let's just say Rian Johnson is not Irvin Kershner.
No, he's not.
I mean, we can all say. I mean,
got Star Wars replicas in the chat. What's going on, Gabe? How you doing,
Gabe?
I personally feel, I think many of you guys do, 5 is still the best film. You know.
Yes. Empire. Yeah. I love Empire. I still have the most fun watching Return of the Jedi. Empire is the best, just no doubt,
front and center.
But but Return of the Jedi, for whatever reason, for me, I just have a lot of fun watching that movie. I could watch
Star Wars is my number one, just from nostalgia.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I mean, 4 it holds a special place. That was the one that I saw in the theater for the first time with my dad. But it was that whole like, it's oh crap, there's no way to save our heroes. This is it. It's gone to crap. And then Vader reveals what he revealed, and you're like, what the
Yeah.
Obi-Wan lied. Obi-Wan lied. What the hell, you know? And then you're like, how do we know? And it's just that emotional that emotion that you're tagged into it that you're like makes it the best film.
And then that's just like think about cinematography up to that point. The hero always wins. You're going to have all your 3 points through there, and to actually have a film end where they're just got the crap beat out of them was like unheard of.
Dude, the emotion Hamill put into the scene where he's holding his ghost arm because it's gone, and he's like, Obi-Wan, why didn't you tell me? And you can hear the emotion. He's like crying basically inside. Why didn't you tell me? And you're like, oh my God, our hero's trainer, our hero's, sensei, whatever, he lied to him, And then he's like, well, from a certain point of view, I was so happy Alec Guinness was still alive for Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Because it really finished it for us. But then he gave the explanation. He's like, from a certain point of view, he's like, yeah, he died that day when he became Darth Vader. And it's like, okay, now I get it. Now I understand.
Yeah, it made sense. Oddly enough, it made sense.
Yeah.
It had me going around to everybody, though. I'm doing this, but from a certain point of view.
Yeah.
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 It's good. Elijah's asking, changing over back to the Mandalorian. He wants to know what our thoughts on Gina Carano situation, without getting too political.
Cancel culture.
Yeah.
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 It's the day and age we live in.
I didn't think it was a smart move for them to let go of Gina.
Yeah.
Especially since the story is continuing.
Everybody's just worried about who can. If we would have screamed louder about "Don't fire her," nothing would have ever happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got. Do you think George regrets recommending Kathleen to run Star Wars?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You don't think he cares at all, as much as he complains?
For her, no, because everybody. I mean, it's a major corporation that took it over. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, they have the final say.
Look at Thor's comment.
Oops.
I would say he probably does.
Crap.
There we go. Yes,
that would be
I'd pay to see that.
That'll be UFC 66.
Yes. Right.
I gotta think that he has to regret it a little bit, is because I think when he didn't he write in there when he sold it to Star Wars that he would be kept on as a consultant, and he just took all of his, and then he puts a woman.
Yeah,
in
they
charge.
were like, no.
Yeah. So he gets written on that he's going to be a consultant. He puts a woman in charge that's supposed to be a friend of his, somebody he's worked with over the years, and then
he wrote. Apparently,
she just doesn't go on with nothing he has.
They just steal.
I heard he wrote like a preliminary story for episodes 7, 8, and 9, and just say, okay, this is how you slide it in, and they're like, okay,
rejected it,
like Luke's lightsaber.
I can't believe with Rian Johnson's thing and all the issues that we have that Lucas had any input or anything. Like Hamill says, it's not my Luke Skywalker, right. That I cannot believe that George would go thumbs up with what you're doing to my characters.
Right.
Yep.
I have a hard time swallowing that.
But even I want to say it was Gary Kurtz. He wasn't happy with George Lucas for Return of the Jedi. With all the Ewoks and everything, he was like, he's just trying to get it to where it's just he's trying to marketing. Yep.
Hey, I'm not saying that I like everything George Lucas does, because obviously Jar Jar Binks is among the horrible things that have happened under his
I think beyond Jar Jar, beyond Jar Jar is the writing between Anakin and Padme. I love you. No, I love you more. Has love made you blind?
Creepy.
Yeah. And it's like, what? Who wrote this?
Creepy.
Yeah. And then the time thing there too. Another time issue is he was like 6 or looked 6 or 7 in episode 1, and next thing you know he's a 20-year-old man, and she doesn't look like she's changed at all.
Yeah.
So
that, and the other thing that really bothered me, the last time Anakin saw Obi-Wan Kenobi as his mentor was literally right before he went to go see Grievous. And he's like, may the force be with you. You've been the best master ever. And he's like, you've been an excellent pupil. The next time he sees him, he's like, you liar! You brought Obi-Wan here to kill me. You're like, what? How? What happened?
Because, how did you go there? Yeah.
Because even after that scene, he goes to Padme's house or something, and he's like, Obi-Wan was here, right? And he's like, wait, we haven't had this tension. all we've had in the series has been oh, you've saved me more times. Okay, I'll give you that one, Anakin. You know, a little play here and there that the student is rising to be the master. You know, but never like I hate him. You know, and it's like, how did that descend happen? There was no good transition in that particular sequence for
He
episode.
could smell Obi-Wan's cologne in Padme's.
Yeah, right.
I smelled the Dakar. Who's been wearing the Dakar in the house? I smell obsession for men.
Exactly, man. I agree with you completely. I never understood that transition. How you can just go from having some kind of respect to just full on.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Yeah, Len. It was supposed to be Wookiees, not Ewoks.
Yeah.
Right.
It was.
They just couldn't afford the Kashyyyk.
Yeah.
How it would look.
So you chop them in half and just flip the name Wookiee to Ewok.
What it was is they had like 6 suits made, right? And then they were like, man, how could we get this to work? Because we can't afford to buy any more suits. We cut the suits in half. You know, we get some short people to wear them, and we good. We got a bunch of. They got 12. They got 12 Ewoks. We can have running around.
Instead of paying adults, we'll pay children, and they'll do it for free. We'll give them action figures.
Exactly. Like you want to go to meet Luke Skywalker? Yeah, let's go.
Oh, the days before child labor laws.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome, man. All right, so we're over the hour. I know, Ralph, you got to get going soon, man.
Yeah, I do.
So we're gonna call it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. Thanks to everybody for coming and hanging with us. Craig, Ralph, Frankie, you're always here, so I can't thank you anymore. You know, you're a permanent guest.
Thanks for bringing up Last Jedi and ruining my day.
No,
we
had a lot of good talk.
Ray inside the Mandalorian. That was kicking the balls.
I hope that rumor is completely wrong. You know, I'm just saying that's a rumor that's out there right now, and I feel like it worked into our whole conversation anyway. Yeah. So, but anyway, all you guys out there, thanks again for subscribing to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend, and until next time, guys, may the Force be with you.